In the future, mankind is forced to live in the water after the ice caps have melted.
The future is fucked, and the only person who could save it is the mariner.
In the quest for dry land. Does the movie do that? I can't remember now. I have the stage, the stunt show so embedded in my brain that I'm like, wait, which one had the narration? And which one?
I just watched this last night.
Yeah, I can't remember if it had narration. It's such a long.
I think there's definitely text. There's for sure text.
Yeah, that's what it was.
There's
I get them
text.
mixed up. I have the stunt show, baked into my brain.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Movie Club. We are doing. Wow, what a special episode we're doing.
Yeah.
We're doing Waterworld.
Yeah.
It's been, Rocco has been teasing it forever. Will we do it? Will we not?
Yeah,
and the twist is that I picked it. That's what
it was
expected.
a twist. But I kept stopping from choosing it because of its length. Because I'm like, this thing's like 3 hours. I keep wanting to do 3-hour movies. But the theatrical cut is not.
No, that was what I watched. I don't know
No,
what
it was
you
like
watched.
2:15 or something.
Yeah, it was
right?
easy.
So it was longer, but
Not
there
that long.
is. I remember hearing it was 3 hours, and then I found out. I remember reading about this movie when it came out.
Right.
I was excited about it. I'll just say this. I'll start with this. Sorry, my fucking watch is going off, and it's. Oh, check out the latest Target Sunday periodical. Why is this delivered to my watch?
You got periodicals delivered to your watch?
And every now and then I get a notification from like fucking PlayStation Network, and it's just someone's avatar. It's like Ellie from Last of Us. And I'm like, don't deliver that to my wrist. Anyway, I was looking forward to this movie as a kid. And now I have always loved sci-fi, big concept sci-fi, original sci-fi, whatever. And I'll say this too, out the gate, I'm going to throw a compliment. There are certain actors who I love. Well, certain ones I hate too, but there are actors that I love that never pick movies I like. You know what I mean? I'll say this: growing up, thought Jim Carrey was a cool guy. I never wanted to see the movies he was in.
I see.
Until, whatever. I think, honestly, Eternal Sunshine was like the first movie that I was like, hey, that was a cool movie, and he was in it.
I remember The Truman Show being really
Truman
amped
Show
for
was a good
that.
movie. Okay, yeah, that was fine. But he just never, other than those, maybe picked things that I liked. There are certain actors that are like that. Then there are actors that I swear they always pick like, okay, if I was you, I would have been in that. I would have tried to be in that movie too.
Mm-hmm.
They always pick shit that was interesting to me. Kevin Costner was one of those actors.
Interesting.
Whenever he was in a movie, it was like something that fascinated me, or I just always loved shit he picked.
My household, we've been watching Yellowstone starring Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Recently. And the kids they're both like, I say both, Emma and Becca, and they're like, I don't think we've seen any movies. And then Jenny is like, no. She fucking loves Kevin Costner. And so we're watching all of his movies.
Damn.
So we've watched a bunch, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, just a ton. And we now have added Waterworld to the list.
Yeah. Our family kind of in the 90s, we were Costner cocked. It was always, I don't know what it was. It was always like our favorite shit had him in it. The Robin Hood was big when that came out. My mom was always playing the fucking soundtrack to that movie. Oh my God. I don't know.
The soundtrack.
I don't know if I've ever seen the whole movie, but the soundtrack
Brian
I've heard
Adams,
maybe 3,000 times.
Yeah.
So that, don't even get me started. Dances with Wolves. That was on permanent loop in our home in the 90s. Field of Dreams is a great movie.
Love that movie.
And then, this being on the horizon, it was like, and I don't know what this is too. My family was always into, and I think this honestly comes from my mom. My mom would bring this stuff to us. My mom was way into the post-apocalyptic genre. That in my family was always like the shared thing. Like, dude, that's what we talked about last week. Planet of the Apes was such a huge thing in our house because it was just like, dude, what happens after, it took place after the world ended. That concept was always like something that we were always kind of talking about. And I think was just, for some reason, we were all fascinated by that. And again, I think that comes from my mom was always fascinated by that. So she brought that stuff to us.
Mm-hmm.
That still happens now. Her favorite show in the last year was Last of Us. She was like all about The Road when that came out.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
I think that's
that
always
dark.
But like I showed her that movie thinking like, hey, you always used to love post-apocalyptic stuff. You should watch this. She watched it and immediately it was like, all right, I read the book. Like she went and found the Cormac McCarthy or whoever wrote that, found the book and read that. And anyway, so my point is to get around to it. In the 90s, we heard new Kevin Costner movie, most expensive movie of all time. It's on Earth after the ice caps have melted and there's nothing left but water. It was like every category checked. We have to see this movie. This was a family event for us. Mm-hmm. So that's my backstory to it.
So you like, because I was one of the ones who, I don't know what this is, and I think this still is the case, and you can see it with Avatar too.
Yeah.
When people hear it's the most expensive movie ever made, they want it to fail.
Yeah.
And that's been the since I can remember, and this movie was the most expensive movie ever made.
Yeah.
And yeah, same with Titanic. I remember being like, oh, see if this idiot James Cameron's make his money back.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Well, now I'll say, just from my perspective, and I could be wrong. Did we lose the Mariner back here? What's going on?
The Mariner is gone. I will try to get the Mariner back.
You can text your wife anytime.
But I want to text her now.
I know you're
I'm
horny,
saying we're talking about Kevin Costner.
I know.
You like that.
Yeah, but
you like him.
I'm just saying, you have all night to do that. But I will say, from my perspective, maybe I'm wrong. I may not be correct on this.
Yeah.
I felt like that mentality, like you were talking about, with wanting the biggest movie to fail, I feel like that happened more post this movie. I feel like we had, I can't remember which came out first, this or Cutthroat Island. I think they were the same year, maybe. I could be wrong. Cutthroat Island was the other biggest movie ever made, with Gina Davis and Matthew Modine as pirates on the open seas. Biggest movie ever. Piece of shit. It's dead. Okay. But I don't remember a lot of negativity before it came out.
Yeah.
This, I remember people were excited for. I don't seem to remember media being like, oh, great. Nice try. I detected there being excitement. Like, hey, this is going to be a huge spectacle. And then when it kind of failed and had mixed reviews and all that stuff, then next on the block was Titanic. Right after this, it was, by the way, there's another biggest movie ever, even bigger than this one. And guess what? It's also on the open water.
Yeah.
And it's Titanic, the story we already know. That's when I detected, all right, fuck this. It's going to fail. I feel like that was the birth of it, because I felt like people had been through the ringer so many times. It was like, all right, let's just let this thing bomb already.
Yeah.
So I feel like Waterworld kind of opened the door for it, but I felt like people were excited for this when it was on the way.
I don't remember the excitement. I just remember always hearing, oh, more people got injured at Waterworld.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even more expensive. Like, people kept saying that.
Yeah. So maybe this was the beginning of that. Yeah.
And I do remember, I remember the negative press. Then I remember thinking, like, I don't know if I'm going to see this. I don't know if I really care.
Yeah.
And then once it failed or bombed, people were almost like celebrating it. I don't know what it was.
No, they were.
You're
right. You're right. Yeah. Once it was done, it kind of became comedic.
Yeah, like, isn't that funny? They wasted their money. I
guess all I'm saying is I feel like that happened post movie launch rather than leading up to it. People saying, "Fuck this movie." I didn't ever see that, but that doesn't mean I'm correct.
Right.
But I did notice it after, for sure.
Yeah.
I will say too, on our end, as I mentioned, it was a huge event for us.
Yeah.
I will say then we went to see this at the drive-in. I didn't go to the drive-in a ton as a kid, but we thought it'd be fun. It was a big summer movie.
Right.
And I felt like we all were just losing interest as it was playing. It was like not holding our focus.
This movie?
I just felt like Yeah, it was just like, yeah, okay. I became more interested in like snacks than the movie. And I remember for years going like, I wonder if it was seeing at the drive-in that had that effect on me. Maybe that was just not the best place to see it.
Yeah.
But it just didn't hold our interest. We were kind of like, how long has this been going on? Okay. So I, saw it later in life.
Yeah.
And I am wondering if maybe it was not the drive-in that was the problem.
Well, here's the thing. I've never seen this before, and I decided to watch it for the first time like a month ago, probably on the airplane going over to Tampa for Creator Clash.
The perfect venue.
Well, yeah. Well, I've told this to Rocco before, and I don't know what it is. I love getting the screen in the back of the seat, and it's 70 movies that they chose, and I have to pick one of those. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
When I could go download anything and put it on my phone, I don't like it as much. I like it when it's these movies. And Waterworld was on that list, and I thought, you know what? Fuck it. Now is the time. Was it the best venue to watch it? No.
The amount of movies that Shawn has told me about that were in that format are unbelievable. And it's like, it's never like, hey, I watched a couple episodes of Mad Men. It's like I saw Dune.
Yeah, I watched Dune on the plane.
Dune on the
plane.
5-inch screen on the plane.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I don't know why. That's one of my favorite places to watch movies. I usually go for like an 80s comedy I've never seen. But if I've seen all of them, then I go to something else. But I don't like usually to watch the newer movies. Sometimes Dune. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once on the plane.
Yeah.
But I usually like to go for Waterworld is the perfect kind of movie where it's like, okay, movie I've heard about my entire life. I've never seen. I'm stuck in this tube. Now I'm going to watch it. That's kind of. So I watched it on the plane, had an opinion of it. Then I watched it at home last night because I was like, that's not a fair review. I got to like watch it. So I watched it last night. And did my opinion change? I don't know. I was telling Rocco before we started recording, like, I don't know if we need to go through beat by beat the plot. We can, sure. We will, kind of. But I'm more interested with just like this movie has all the ingredients to be an all-time classic.
Yes.
And I guess it went through 35 rewrites. And I think you can see that.
I was just about to say it. I can not that we've done anything on the level of fucking Waterworld, but there have definitely been videos that we've made in the past where that happens, where it's like every ingredient is good. I'm going to use the example of we did a video about Gauntlet years ago where I felt like, oh, it needs more ingredients. It needs more ingredients to be really good video.
Yes.
Let's have me. I'm like a guy obsessed with Gauntlet, and I'm fucking shirtless in the woods. Yeah, but what if we had like Shawn kind of doing something funny in public? Oh, but what if we add like Nicole as a character? But what if we have like a funny gag where Derek's like screaming too long, kind of? Okay, what if we and then you have it all, and it just we re-edit it like 50 times, and it's just not put together in the right way, and then it gets shown, and it's like, that recipe just did not work out.
Yeah.
I feel that here for sure.
Yeah, and
every ingredient I kind of love.
Yeah.
I will say it, but it just isn't put together in a way that is tasty.
Yeah, and I do think there are so many little plot lines that just don't go anywhere. And they or amount to anything.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder, like, I'm sure this was something more impressive at some draft down the road, and you kept it for some, like the fact that this dude has gills. But does that really matter? Did he need to have gills?
That's what, and that was, let me just say, that was a hook for me. Hearing about the movie coming out was like, it's long after the ice caps have melted, like, and that's a possibility, like that this could happen, and it's like, and then a guy has evolved that he has like a fucking gill. That actually, as a kid, was like, holy shit, like, would that happen to humanity if we lost land, what would happen, so as a sci-fi hook, again, cool ingredient. What did it add to the recipe? What did it
I mean, like, he was able to show her that one, but it's just like, well, Okay.
You know, so the villain could be, your fish boyfriend, you know, and that's it.
And it's like things, or even like the little girl having the tattoo on her back to land.
Yeah.
Okay. But then like she at the end goes, I'm home. But that could have been way more interesting if you would have like talked to me about what happened with this girl.
And I wonder if that's all a result of the million rewrites, or what I was going to say earlier, and I kind of trailed off a little bit. I kept hearing it was a 3-hour plus epic, is what I heard as a kid. Turns out it wasn't that. But there's multiple cuts of this movie. And what I was going to say was, what I thought was cool, and I've seen both, so I don't know what, now they're blending together. But what I think was cool is when they showed this on TV, they showed a lot of extra scenes to fill time. Some of it was censored because it was, like ABC showed it, but they aired it as a long thing. And someone at home, just a fan, made what they called the Ulysses cut of Waterworld. They gave it that name for some reason, and made a way longer cut. When this got a fancy Blu-ray release fairly recently, in the last few years, the filmmakers and all the producers behind it were like, hey, no, that was a great cut.
Whoa.
We're going to do. And I think it's the only movie that has adopted a fan cut where they went, hey, they reached out to whoever, Ulysses cut. We're going to call it that they called it that on the Blu-ray.
Wow.
We're going to call it that, but we're not going to use, you cut it together from like VHS from ABC and stuff like that. No, we've got the film elements.
Shit.
We're going to follow your cut with the original film. So I thought that was kind of cool, actually.
How mind-blowing with getting that email be for that person.
Yeah, like, hey, I like your cut. Let's do it,
Yeah.
So there are some things that were kind of maybe a little more elaborated, a little more clarified in that version, but I still think it's probably the million rewrites to try to get it right that things just fell through the cracks. That's what I think.
There were so many problems with making of this movie.
Yeah.
And that's why it went way over budget. They were given $100 million by Universal to make it. It ended up going way above that because they didn't listen to Steven Spielberg, who came to the set and said, hey, I know a thing or two about filming on open water. Doesn't fucking work. Jaws.
He's the pro at that one.
Jaws was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Don't film in open water. You can't predict the tide. You can't predict the weather.
Yeah.
You're not in control of anything, and you are just at mercy to the elements. And they didn't listen to them. And so they went way over budget. They had, that big floating city set destroyed, and they had to go salvage it and then try to rebuild it because the tide took it in.
Yeah.
Like all these things kept happening because they listened to Spielberg. And I was
Gotta
reading
listen to Steve.
so much about the making. I wish they had a documentary on the making of this movie. Maybe they do.
Yeah.
It just seems like a clusterfuck.
That Blu-ray that I mentioned.
Yeah.
So I have mixed thoughts on this movie.
Yeah.
That Blu-ray gets my highest recommendation because it's made by a third party. It's like Arrow Video, and they got everyone to talk about it, and they're honest about every step of it. I think they're doing a 4K version of this same box set soon. My highest recommendation for everyone, and you would love the documentary. Is like 2 hours, and it's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Reading so they had that floating set in the middle of the ocean, and it was like 2 miles out or something. They needed they couldn't get 360-degree shots of without land in it.
Yeah.
So they needed I think it was 270 or something like most of it was water. But there was no bathrooms. So every time someone had to use a bathroom, they had to transport them off the thing to some other barge they built with porta potties on it.
Oh my God.
Just that alone is this isn't gonna fucking work.
Yeah.
I mean, really, just get in the ocean and pee, I would think, is what you would. I would just.
It's fucking ocean.
I guess if you're shitting your brains out, then it might be a different story.
Yeah.
But it's still the ocean.
Even
I don't know.
You could get it done.
I don't know. Yeah, so just so many elements of this movie were just
recycle the pee and drink it. They showed you how to do it.
What a start!
Yeah.
What a start to the movie.
But again, all of these these are awesome sci-fi concepts. Yo, I mean, what can you do? You got to recycle that's a little Dune. Maybe you owe a little bit to that on that. That may not be their own.
Dune
did recycle spit in that movie. I don't remember piss.
So I watched the movie and was fascinated, and I thought, like, I wonder if there was like a behind the scenes podcast or something I could listen to on the way to work today. Just curious.
Yeah.
And I found one, and it's not exactly what I wanted, but it was close enough, and whatever.
Yeah.
It was about a guy who he worked at Disney as an Imagineer and was responsible for building Pandora. He helped build things for Avengers Campus, and then had the job of doing stuff for fucking Star Wars. What do you call it? What is it called?
Galaxy's Edge?
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Thank you. He didn't end up taking the job because he got contacted by Universal to make a Waterworld land in like Shanghai or some shit.
Who? Oh, is it? This is Brandon Clayla.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know this guy.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Of course you would know.
I don't know him like super friendly, whatever, but I've talked to him at about 100 different events.
Shut the fuck up. Well, anyways, he was on this podcast talking about this.
Yeah, that's probably Brandon. Yeah. Brandon decorated, sorry to get theme parky here. Brandon decorated Buena Vista Street in California Adventure, and he would do like the props.
Yeah,
so you go in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, on the shelves, they'd have an old radio, an old toaster. He snuck a Ghostbusters 2 reference on the shelf. He put the old toaster on there.
Well, this dude, Brandon, apparently, was on this podcast, and I was just curious, like, what does he have to say about whatever? And he's like, Waterworld, it's near and dear to my heart. I love this movie.
Yeah.
Not the best movie. I love it. And he's like, and when they gave me the opportunity, it's like Star Wars has been done, and Waterworld was just like, who's doing this?
Yeah.
Like the fact that, so I went to Universal 2 weeks ago, and we watched a Waterworld show. Like that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't still be there.
Yeah.
But as this person, as Brandon was saying, when Harry Potter opened the world, whatever you call it, Hogsmeade opened up.
Wizarding World of Harry Potter, whatever.
When that opened up in Universal, the audience feedback of it was like 90%. People loved it.
Yeah.
But that same week, the audience feedback for the Waterworld show was 98%.
Yeah.
Because that show still fucking rules.
Yeah, it does.
And so he was saying that he was responsible for building the stuff, like props and stuff in the land.
Yeah.
And he made a pee purifier.
Oh.
Like, that is in the land, and he really wanted it to be above the bathrooms.
Oh,
that was like,
that's awesome.
He was like, how sick would it be to have that like hanging above where you go to the bathroom was that thing. He's like, they ended up using it for like, and like, I think part of the show or something integral. Like it's like, it's more feature, but he's like, I just thought it'd be a cool hidden thing to have that fucking thing there. He
also had like a statue made of the Mariner out of like scraps or something. There's something really fancy there. And then I think there's actual props integrated into that too.
I think so.
Because I know there in Hollywood there are props from the movie in their set there. But I think he had some sent over maybe too to the not Shanghai, but the other.
Where was it? I don't know. I must say, wasn't Shanghai?
No, it's
Hong
another. I'm going blank, but yeah.
Well, you know what? It's not in America. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So I don't care about it.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. That little tidbit of that guy working on this stuff and getting the urine purifier.
I was literally gonna bring up that guy. Later in the show. So that's so funny. You already did. You were the one to do it.
That's so funny. Yeah. So, kind of my feeling on this movie. Excuse me, the Zevia. Burping.
I've been trying to not have a burp on mic the whole time. This Zevia
it's
shit
like extra carbonated.
Is extra You will belch more than you ever have had in your life.
Yeah.
So
it's good though.
I love it, but it will get you. You'll be like, yeah, so oh my God.
You just don't want it.
Anyway.
You can't help it. Yeah. Anyways, so I feel like this movie starts with Kevin Costner pissing. Like whenever you get a movie starting with someone pissing, you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get.
It's gonna be good.
Like it starts. I remember hearing that too as a kid. He drinks his own pee, is what people were saying on the playground, and it's like I couldn't fathom what they were saying.
Yeah,
it does show you. It's a good introduction to this movie where it's like, it's fucking bleak out here.
Yeah,
like, you gotta. This is how you survive: is drinking your own piss. Like,
yeah,
that's how we're doing it.
Universal Beijing, by the way. Sorry, not. Now I can't think of the other one.
You said Shanghai.
Shanghai, yeah, it's Beijing. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
there's a whole land. I want to see that.
Yeah, they have a Waterworld land. They got a restaurant, I think.
Oh my god.
I know. I want to go.
Okay, let's go back to the theme parks for 1 second, really quick, before I get to this plot. How dare they make this show? The show is, by the way, incredible. The show is mind-blowingly awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, this episode, you are going to hear, I'm just letting everyone know, you're going to hear 2 of the worst takes you've ever heard in your life. None of which are mine.
Oh, come on.
And only half of them are yours. But I know there's going to be one they haven't gotten to yet, but this is the one episode that I will confidently say, I don't care if this is not a secret message, that I'm glad Derek's not on.
Oh my God.
This stunt show got brought up in one episode and he went off on how bad it was.
What?
Yeah.
How?
I don't remember what episode it was, but if you ever watch it, watch me go silent because I am waiting for the moment to pass because I have nothing to offer.
What?
I think he was just feeling like he saw it as a kid and they haven't changed it.
Good.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 back then.
I saw it for the first time maybe in the last 3-4 years.
I saw it last time 2 weeks ago.
It's my favorite theme park show ever.
No
one stopped it.
First off, my kids at this point hadn't seen the movie, and we took the little ones too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's a picture that Jenny took of Lyndon watching it, but the picture really is me because I'm going like naturally. Yeah. I'm not posing.
Yeah.
The camera was on me.
Yeah.
It was just a plane flew through the fucking set and it blew up. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Derek saw it a lot as a kid, and so he was just like, whatever. But I remember he was like that about Captain EO too when that came back. But I'm like, I love that this is back.
This is where Universal's fucking up though, because the show.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're gonna say.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Rules. It's funny to me that there still is a Waterworld show because this movie is pretty much forgotten.
Yeah.
This is a cult movie at this point. Like, you know, and the fact that you go to a major theme park and there's a Waterworld ride,
and people swarm to it.
Yes. And like
attraction. Yeah.
It was full. It was packed.
Yeah. This will never go away. I think it's big enough that it makes no sense.
This movie came out like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's still. So anyways, that's crazy. There's not one piece of Waterworld merch at the theme park.
I completely, agree.
What a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
Hire me, Universal. I'll give you some Waterworld merch.
All the time people are saying like, dude, give me some like Waterworld merch. They don't have any. Oh. They should at least, Kevin has said this before, and I agree with him, at least have a fucking golf ball. Like that's a part of the smokers come in and hit the golf ball in the show, and that's in every showing. And just have the golf ball like with the thing on it.
Just have a black shirt that says Waterworld.
That's it.
How fucking hard is that?
Agreed.
It's going to cost you nothing to make.
Agreed.
I guarantee, even if people go to this theme park, go to this show, don't know it's a movie.
Yeah.
They see that shirt, that show ruled, I'm buying it. Like, that was that good.
Yep.
Like, I really felt like Universal, and this is another tangent, their merch department is dropping the fucking ball. And
funny you mention it.
Yeah.
They just closed an attraction 2 weeks ago called Poseidon's Fury in Orlando, which was a walkthrough temple with tons of effects and crazy shit. It was awesome. I went through it the first time like almost exactly 1 year ago, and now it's gone. Just yesterday, this is the only shirt they've ever done for it.
Whoa.
Or at least in years have done for it. And it's just like, I mean, it's fine, but it says it's the goodbye. It's like departing May 9th, 2023. But I got it because it's the only fucking thing they sell of Poseidon's Fury. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even though I bought the damn thing, I'm still like melancholy that like, man, if they had way more cool merch, I would have bought that. So anyway.
I feel like we've wasted our whole time. How long have we been going? Like half an hour at this point, and we haven't talked about the movie. I apologize. We'll talk about the movie, and I mean, but honestly, I think the more interesting stuff is about the making of this movie.
It's the circumstances around it. Yeah,
it is a movie where it is fascinating to me. Watching the movie, he, as I said, he has gills, like, but apparently, here's the thing is, I didn't, watching it the first time, I was like, Kevin Costner's a fucking asshole for more than half of this movie. You don't like him, really.
Yeah.
And, that's you don't like this movie alarm. But I feel like I found out he was going through a divorce while filming this movie. I think that's the reason why he played this so dark.
And not only that, but he was having a lot of issues with the director.
Oh, yeah. The director left filming.
Yeah. And Costner took over.
Yeah, I think Costner, they said, spent like $35 million of his own money to finish this movie.
Yeah.
The director was later quoted saying that Kevin Costner should direct all of his movies because then he'd work with his favorite actor and director.
Yeah.
Which is what a quote.
I don't know who would have directed it better or if Costner messed anything up or I don't know. Can't speak to that. But one thing that I know definitively that Costner did that is like, that improved it is the music. In that documentary that I watched, they talk about the music was kind of bleak and depressing, kind of shit. And when Costner took over, he was like, can we throw this fucking depressing music out? We need to get some like Star Wars level, like, let's get some themes in there. The score rules for this movie. Like, again, one of the ingredients, does the recipe work? Maybe not, but what a great ingredient. And going back to the theme park, it makes that show that much more fun too. But the score to this movie absolutely rocks. So good.
I'm going to summarize the plot as quickly as I can, just because I don't think there's that much to it. Kevin Costner is on his own. He wants to barter like he's been doing.
Yeah.
Ends up being attacked by the smokers or like by what's his fucking face?
One-Eyed
Joe. One-Eye. I don't remember. I have it. The Deacon.
Yeah, the Deacon. Duh.
And what's the Deacon's goal? I guess to find the girl. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Well, she's got because she's got the thing.
But they should elaborate. Like, how do they know this?
Yeah.
What?
I was always kind of lost on that too.
It's confusing because it's not fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's confusing. So Kevin Costner gets rescued in that place. Then he saves the girl and her caretaker, who is not her mom, Helen.
Yeah.
But I think she is like a monthly figure or something. Then the rest of the movie is them trying to escape Dennis Hopper until the girl gets caught, and then Kevin Costner has to go save her.
Yeah.
Then they find land. I mean, it really is like bam, 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 bam. But
yeah,
it's just
not a complex story.
It's really, I think the whole movie is just trying to showcase like the world.
Yes. The fact that, and again, all very well done. The smokers are the Deacon being on the remains of the Exxon Valdez.
How fucking funny. I laughed so hard when I saw that.
Yeah, but that, again, this was awesome. Like, that was just so great and played into, in the 90s were the first time you were really hearing serious concerns about global warming, or whatever. Even though as a concept that's existed for a long time. They bring it up in Soylent Green. That was in the 70s, and they're like, it takes place in the future and it's gotten too hot because, but that was becoming a really serious concern. And we were on the heels of the big oil spill, and the fact that like that all played into it was like, whoa, in the 90s, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I think that, like I also read that, like, they said that if the ice caps actually did melt, the story is like it's 2,500 feet the water rose. I mean, it really be a couple hundred.
Yeah.
Waterworld wouldn't really happen, but they knew that. They didn't really care. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Push it for the sake
and
of
I agree,
sci-fi.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it's so. But like he's driving. They're driving a car through the Exxon Valdez, and it's that like that fucking song. I don't know. Dun 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 dun. dun
Tommy Gunn or whatever.
Yeah. And
is it Billy Gunn?
Whatever it is, it reminds me of the 90s. It's a 90s song.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had when I was doing dance, I danced to that song. I'm pretty sure I had a dance, but I wore trench coats and looking all cool.
Yeah.
I think I did that. But yeah, I mean, he's throwing out cigarettes. Like, I don't know where they found these fucking cigarettes. Like it's so fucking cheesy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I really enjoyed it the whole way through. which I didn't think that I would. I thought I was gonna kind of hate it, and
Interesting.
I didn't hate this movie. Even the part like the little girl is like talking so much shit, and like he's gonna come rescue me. You're fucked. When he finds me, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And then like they find him. They're on that fucking Exxon Valdez, and then Kevin Costner has like a flare right above like all of the oil below.
Yeah.
And then Dennis Hopper's like, you're not going to throw that. And then he just fucking does. Like, it's all this like, I don't give a fuck. And he just, like, I was laughing the entire time.
Yeah.
So, you know, is this movie perfect? Not even fucking close.
Yeah.
But for a movie, I enjoyed it the whole time. I really did.
Yeah. I'll say on my end, everything you're saying, I loved. But this movie is a lot of ingredients and moments that I love. But the whole thing narratively does not hold my interest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I just sit through it like, all right, oh, that was cool. Yeah. For some reason, I always leave it like I kind of wasted time watching that.
Now,
not that I there's so many things I like about it, but I always leave it just kind of like, yeah, all right. I just feel like a little bit soul sucked.
Yeah, I can see that because I feel a little bit the same way. But as a movie, maybe knowing that it flopped, maybe some. But you know, honestly, by the way, it's made its money back.
Yeah.
In case you're concerned, like after VHS and everything, like TV rights, it's and it was number one. It's like this movie just came out and like no one saw it. People saw it.
Yeah.
They just didn't love it, and then you know it couldn't recoup the gigantic budget at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like I don't take it seriously. And maybe that is, I don't think that was their intention.
Yeah.
They wanted me to take this very seriously, and I can't.
Yeah.
So maybe it failed in that regard. But as an entertaining movie, just to see this world, that is entertaining to me.
Yeah. And I should say, too, on my end, I've said it on here a million times, I'll give points a lot of times, too, for the production.
Yeah.
So that, you know, like as a narrative thing, I'm always just kind of like a little bored by it, but the production is so good and entertaining that kind of lifts me up a little bit. So
I can see that.
Also, again, a lot of cool stuff in the Ulysses cut that is not in the theatrical. And I was looking up one of them just now, and because I was like, this isn't in the original, I don't think. Because I'm blending them together. One of the coolest things that I thought was in this movie. So we're going to skip. Let's just skip to the end.
Yeah, we know the end. Yeah, that's fine. They find land.
They find land. Do you know about the dry land? Where this came from? This is in the Ulysses cut. One of the coolest moments. Again, this is the kind of thing that as a kid, I would have been like, whoa. But it was cool now, too. The Ulysses cut, they are climbing dry land. Oh, cool, they're here. Okay. At one point, what's her name? The little girl. Forgot her name.
Enola.
Enola.
Which is alone backwards.
Is like trips over a thing or walks out one thing, and it's like, oh, cool. They're just chilling on dry land. What's that next to their feet? A plaque that says, these men, these brave men that have made it to this peak of Everest shall be remembered as whatever. Like they found Mount Everest. That they were in that area.
That's how they survived.
Yeah, and that's how they found dry land. They're just at the peak of Mount Everest.
Now I'll tell you,
I just thought that was a fun detail.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Obviously, that doesn't work in the sense of the elevation would be so high they'd be frozen. But I don't care.
But the world has changed.
The world's changed.
Are there even
global
seasons
warming?
Anymore? Yeah.
Okay, you got me back.
Yeah.
Kevin, you got me. Yeah, so they find dry land. I feel like the whole thing, Dennis Hopper is silly in this movie.
Yeah.
Him losing his eye. There's 1,000 things in this movie that are like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just saying okay a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I just feel like if you show me any of these scenes on YouTube right now, love them all. It's just watching it all in one narrative. I just am like, I just lose steam or something. I just am like, oh man, yeah. It doesn't elevate. It doesn't come together for me.
Sure.
So that's my.
I get it.
With it.
I definitely get it. I don't think it's perfect. It's interesting that I'm curious what you're gonna rate it because.
Well,
I never thought I'd rate it higher than
I
you.
ain't rating nothing. What did you tell me about Dennis Hopper the other day?
Oh.
I promised them one of the worst takes.
Yeah.
We got one on the stunt show. Derek was on the chopping block, but he's not here. He can't speak for himself.
Can't defend himself. Dennis Hopper is not a good actor. And coming from me, I am a terrible actor. I am no good actor. We can smell our own. And he's not very good. He's okay. If you see him in the show 24, which you probably haven't, I dare you to go on YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Look up Dennis Hopper on 24.
Yeah.
It is like laughably bad. And after that, it kind of was like, he sucked in that. And then I watched Speed and was like, he kind of sucked in that. Then I watched this movie and went, maybe he just kind of sucks. So I know people are going to be
in my top 10 favorite actors.
Oof.
Dennis Hopper. I'll fuck anything that moves. He's incredible in Blue Velvet. They saw him there and put him in as Koopa in Mario, which it was a funny casting. And he's like one of the most entertaining parts of that shitty movie. He was in Twilight Zone back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
No one else is like Dennis Hopper. He's so iconic in his performance.
I know he's no longer with us, so I hate to speak ill of the dead.
I've never disagreed more, I think, on something on this show.
Well, let me know in the comments if I'm fucking crazy, but I just don't think
They are. You didn't even need to bring it up. They've already written it.
Oh, okay, good. I'm telling you, this wasn't I just recently came to this conclusion. Watching him, I've seen him several times and thought, oh, he sucked in that. And if you think that more than once, then I'm on to you, Dennis.
I think he elevates everything he's in and makes it more fun.
Well,
because again, Mario, not a great movie. I mean, I like it, but it's a B movie, D movie. And when he shows up, it's just like, yes, he's in it. I think he adds fun to everything that he's in.
Yeah.
He's on a Gorillaz album too, and he's really good.
Wow. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. But while we're here, let's do the ratings because I'm dying to know. I picked it first, so I guess I'll go. I'm going to give it 3 shakers. It is a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
But I was along for the ride. But it is something. I'm glad I saw it. It's something.
Yeah. I think the stunt show at Universal is better.
Yes.
I think it takes everything that was great about this and boils it down to 15 minutes.
With you.
That's maybe all you need.
Uh-huh.
I want to man. I don't know if I like it enough. I'm going to give it a 2.
That's fair.
The production is I recommend this movie highly because of the production.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to sit through it. So I gotta rate it low.
I'm not mad at you for that.
I just can't sit through it.
But
the ingredients are so good.
Yeah, it's. I say watch it, and you'll probably not like it. That's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Rocco, what are we watching next?
Oh, I kept thinking Waterworld was my. I honestly thought it was my choice.
It was mine.
Yeah. Shit, man. Wait, weren't we talking about? Wasn't there another?
There was.
What was it?
I mean, we just
talked about it before the thing. It was. Weren't we going to do a Kevin Costner double?
We were. We
double
were
feature.
We were going to do the Untouchables, but I was going to let you call on that.
Oh, yeah. That's what it was. I could not. I'm like, I kept thinking Waterworld was my choice. I'm going crazy.
No.
We're going to do the Untouchables.
We were talking about Costner. I said never seen that one. He said we should watch that one.
We're going Costner crazy. That's with 2 Ks, and we're going to do another one. Gangster movie I've always wanted to check out.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
Me neither. I'm excited.
But I've always heard, Rocco, check that out. Brian De Palma movie. He killed it on Scarface. He killed it on Phantom of the Paradise. Did he kill it on The Untouchables?
Ooh, join us
or is
next
it going to
week.
be? Or is it going to be the Unwatchable? Turn the fucking show off.
I just don't know. The mouse isn't working, and now I'm uncomfortable. Oh, wait.